yeah, winter, she's coming. You gotta love Montana. So I got a message today, right? A friend of mine I used to be in SWAT with, and it was about he's living in Tennessee now, and he said, hey, I can see this happening in Oregon or in California, but Montana, what's going on? And it was about a transgender boy who ran a track against all girls because now he's a girl because he thinks he's one. And of course, he beat all the girls. And you know, I'm not a politically correct guy. Let's talk reality here, man. If you're born a man, you're a man. If you were a male soldier and you went to combat and you were injured grievously and lost your penis, that doesn't mean you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think you're a giraffe, you're not one. You know, this mental illness issue that's going on, it's sad for these people that have these conditions. It really is. But how is it that their mental illness is suddenly everybody's problem? You know what I think is most amazing about this, right? Is we have all these parents, right? So all these girls who lost came from second place all the way down underneath this guy. What did they do? Well, according to the article, they didn't do anything, but I'm sure they were upset, right? I mean, I can't imagine if I had a young girl athlete who worked her butt off to do great at athletics and was now being beat by a boy with a mental illness that the university was saying is a girl. Listen, God is real and God loves us all, and God created us and the earth. But God put mankind in charge of the earth. You'll find that several places in the Bible. So for those of you who are disappointed by things that are happening, like this craziness brought on by evil, brought on by Satan, this insanity that we're beginning to adopt throughout this country, even though the masses know it's craziness, like this transgender issue, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. It's a mental illness. You can't think yourself into being something. You can't do it. And I don't care if you want to cut off or add parts to your body, it doesn't make you that thing or that type of person or that sex. That's a fact. Now, what I would expect to happen with parents that love their children was that you would get together with all the other parents of female athletes and say, if any boy who claims to be a girl runs in a competition against our girls, we will boycott it. Yeah, he can run himself. You know what that means? You are accountable. If something were to alter my son's life, and I didn't do anything, I would be ashamed of myself. Just because some people claim things are right doesn't mean it's right. There are laws that are not right, but people just don't know how to have them changed. But we have to look at humanity, and the reality of what we all see is real. Boys are not girls and girls are not boys. It's always been that way. It's in the book. And I know for those of you who don't believe in Jesus Christ and the Bible, you don't want to refer to that. So then I guess we can just look at the rest of humanity or the rest of animal life throughout history. If there were only boys in one generation of whatever that was, there would be no more. If there were only girls in one generation of that creature, there would be no more. If we were to take all homosexuals, and if you're a homosexual, I don't hate you. You have a right to choose your life. As a matter of fact, I've never talked to a homosexual about it, but I think that they take a beating for the transgender people. And I don't know that all homosexuals believe in the transgender thing, except they might want to jump on the bandwagon to support them because they feel oppressed. But I look at homosexuality as a perversion. I have the right to feel that way. But saying that, all people have their perversions. That's the way I see it. And homosexuality is just one of them. But I don't hate people that are homosexuals. I know quite a few of them. They're usually really nice, decent people. So, live the life you want. But this transgenderism, where you suddenly can take advantage of the other sex, that's crazy. The idea of boys going into girls' bathrooms now because we want to be respectful of a couple mentally ill people, where now young girls are not going to the restroom and they're beginning to get sicknesses and because they don't want to go to the restroom with boys, especially boys dressed like girls. I mean, come on. The next time, if you've got an athlete, I mean, this was in, I believe, Billings, Montana State University. What are those parents going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when somebody decides that your child doesn't matter, but this mentally ill person does? What are you going to do? You know, people, you're accountable. You're accountable for yourself. But for God's sakes, if you don't want to be accountable for yourself, if you'd rather just sit back and complain, write an article or click a button on Facebook, instead of actually getting involved, I feel sorry for your children. Your children depend upon you for more than a place to live and food to eat. They depend upon you to defend them when things go crazy and get bad. So if you're a parent of a young female who's being abused in athletic activities, you need to stand up and do something about it. God loves you. Enjoy your coffee.